Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pool Opening 2022, Part 6. We got like a major windstorm coming in here, so I'm going to try to talk loud and hope that we're going to get through this. Today we're going to be adding chlorine tabs to an automatic chlorinator. This isn't too difficult. Turn off your pump. There you go. We'll let everything calm down for a minute. Let everything stabilize. Calm down here. Drainy stuff. That's good. Alright, we got to take this top off. It's loose, as a matter of fact. If it's tight, allegedly there's some sort of tool that can fit on this to help you. It shouldn't be that tight. I'm going to show you how tight to make it. There you go, just unscrews, put it down. Now, chlorine tabs. Chlorine, this is kind of like that laundry stuff, like bleach. That's what chlorine is. We need to have a little talk about chlorine and chlorine tabs. Chlorine safety, don't breathe the fumes. This should be obvious, because if you sniff this stuff, you're going to go, oh, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You breathe in too much of that, it's bad. I think you kind of learned that when you were a kid. I'm going to hang on to my tripod here. I think you kind of learned that when you were a kid, and you touched the hot stove. Wow, this wind is whipping. You touched the hot stove and got burned. Then you learned, don't touch it when it's hot. It wasn't that hard to learn. So, with chlorine, don't breathe the fumes. And anything it touches, it's going to bleach out. So if it gets on your clothing, that is going to bleach it out. How I've been lucky all these years with my blue pool shirt, I don't know. Mine come pre-wrapped in little bags. Drop that in. I toss them on the floor. I can litter in my own backyard. It's okay, because I'm going to use it. For this chlorinator, this size pool, which is I think 30,000 gallons, I put in 6 chlorine tabs. This varies based on how many people are going to be in the pool, how hot or cool the weather is going to be for the week. And on this side of it that you can't see, there's an adjustment dial. You can set it from minimum to maximum. I crank it up to max, put in 6 a week, could be 5, could be 7. If you're having people over, a lot of people over, you might want to put an extra one in. If you're going to be away for a few days, or the weather is going to be rainy and terrible and not that conducive to going in the pool, put in one less. It's not going to hurt you, and it's going to save you a couple dollars, and we're going to talk about that in the end. We're now going to take our cover. There's a cap here. I'm just going to show you this. It pulls out, and there's a screw in here. And make sure this top piece inside is tight against that screw. There are some notches in this, so you have to find the notch here and put it back, and it snaps back in. Now we can screw this back on. So now, like I said, these are very coarse threads. Screw, screw, screw. See how I'm working with one hand? Screw. Okay, it's getting tight now. So now I use 2 hands, but watch how much I turn. I'll use this finger so you see how much I turn. That's it. From about there to there. Maybe a 1/16 of a turn to maybe an 1/8. That should be tight enough. Remember, you can always tighten it more if it leaks. Turn your pump back on. Let's wait and see if this repatch is primed, because everything is run out. We We opened it, introduced air to the system. She's picking up. There we go. That should catch in just a moment. She's running. She's working the air out. And that's going to do it. Now, let us talk about chlorine tabs. All right, let's talk chlorine tabs. Now, this has to do specifically with 2022. We got a problem in the U.S., folks. 2 years ago, there was a chlorine tab manufacturer in Louisiana. Their plant burned down, and that impacted about 30 to 40% of the chlorine tab supply in the U.S. As a result, overnight, the price of chlorine doubled, and that's if you could even get it. I used to pay about $100 for a bucket. It would last me all season. Now it's $200 for that same bucket. Now I understand the fire happened. It's very unfortunate. I don't know the ramifications if anybody perished in it or that, but the building burnt down. We understand that. And yes, the supply chain was interrupted. As a result, prices are going to go up and demand is going to be hard to meet. There's also a plant in New Jersey. And some months back, sometime over the winter, I think, that plant in New Jersey caught fire. Gee, that's interesting, isn't it? Now, I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories or anything like that, but this fire, however, was not in the main building. This place in Jersey has two buildings, the main factory and then an outbuilding. And in the outbuilding, they have the buckets and the cardboard boxes that they put the buckets in, and packing tape and all the staples and hot glue and whatever they use. The outbuilding caught fire. So they can't package their stuff. So all they lost was this building and some plastic buckets like this. Now I understand these come at a cost. They're not free, and that certainly will have some sort of an impact. But the problem is, when we're already in a short supply, as far as this plant in Louisiana, I don't know. Going to be a while yet, but it's been 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. So there should be some progress on that. We don't know. But now with this fire that did not impact production, just packaging, the price hiked another $50. $250 that I have to pay for a bucket of chlorine tabs now, instead of the about $100 that it used to be. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. 2.5 times what it used to cost. Now, let's fast forward 3-5 years from now. Do you think we're ever going to see it come back down to that $100 level? Never. Never. Inflation is at an all-time high. Is anybody doing anything about it? Not a damn. Nobody's doing anything. Not even inflation buster sales or anything like that. Nothing. Nobody's doing a damn thing. This country is already in hell in its handbasket. It's only getting hotter from here, folks. Price of chlorine tabs, if we're lucky, is going to come down to like $179. Unlikely for a while. And then they're going to throw all the rest in. Now, we had Calderona in this country, so that impacted things. And they're saying that there's supply chain shortages due to that. Okay, that was in 2020. Here we are in 2022, 2 years later. Is it still around? Absolutely. Are people still coming down with it? No question about it. Is it anywhere near as bad as it was in 2020? Not even close. Is it ever going away? No, it's never going away. But in 2020, they locked down our country. We were shut down. And we are now seeing the effects of that economically. All of this inflation and everything else. But the problem is these companies were working on less than half of a skeleton staff. And they got along. And they realized, gee, we can do all of this without all those workers we had. Sure, you call up on the phone, we are experiencing longer than normal hold times. It's never going to be, hello, Judy Smith, how can I help you? Never again, folks. Never again. It's always going to be long hold times. Because that less than half of a skeleton staff, they hired about 2 people back. They're not hiring the same number of people they had before. And because of that, we're going to have longer hold times. We're going to have less customer service. And everything is spiraling and spiraling more and more out of control. And that's the way it's going. And that's likely the way it's going to go with chlorine tabs. Now, you can say I'm wrong. This is simply my opinion, but the future looks grim. As far as going to a salt generator or chlorine generator using salt, they'll jack the price of salt up and you'll be screwed. Matter of fact, it won't be worth its salt. Ha ha ha. So, there's bromine. You don't hear too much about that. That price of that already shot up. So we're basically all screwed as pool owners. So you know what? Just enjoy it. Pay the bills. And it sucks. That's going to do it for this part 6. Putting chlorine tabs in an automatic chlorinator for pool opening 2022. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like. Make sure you click subscribe and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.